Hi, glad to see you on my channel. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. It's important to me. Have a good view. In January-May 1941, convoys with troops, equipment, and supplies for the Italian army in Libya and the German African Corps were continuously passing through the Mediterranean Sea. From January to April, of the 259 tons of supplies and 73,191 troops sent from Italy, 302,482 tons and 71,881 arrived in Tripoli respectively, 94% and 97% respectively. To stem this flow, the British needed to have strong formations of strike aircraft and ships in Malta. Early successes. At first, the hurricane fighters needed to defend the airfields and ports of the island from the air were engaged in the metropolis. But at the first opportunity, fighters were allocated and carriers resumed their transfer to Malta. So, on April 3rd, 12th Hurricanes Mimke 2 flew to the airfield Hal Far from the deck of HMS Ark Royal. From that moment, deliveries of fighters became regular. On April 11th, 4 destroyers of the 14th Flotilla of Capt. Philip J. Mack's 14th Flotilla arrived at La Valletta for permanent basing from Alexandria. In addition, to support fleet operations in the central Mediterranean, was decided to deploy in Malta detachment of bombers Blenheim, 2nd Bombardment Group, since late February, attacking naval targets in the North Sea and the English Channel. The usual armament of these planes in the anti-ship flight consisted of 4 250-pound semi-armor-piercing bombs with 11-second delayed fuses. At the same time, since in practice it became clear that the Blenheims are not capable of hitting ships from horizontal flight or dive, their pilots, since April 1941, switched to topmast bombing from 50 feet. From this altitude, they usually carried out the assault on land targets on the continent. As the initiative resulted in a significant increase in the number of targets hit, it was legitimized by an order for the 2nd Bombardment Group on 30th May. And already on May 11th, departed back to England. In 4 operations against enemy shipping, 11 sorties squadron declared 5 transports and 1 destroyer sunk, 1 transport as possibly sunk, and 1 ship and 1 destroyer as damaged, which is not confirmed by Italian documents. On May 16th, 5 Blenheims of 139 Squadron landed in Malta. Already on May 18th, they conducted the first search for the enemy convoy. On May 25th, they were joined by a flight of the 82nd Squadron. The rest of the aircraft were relocated on June 18th. Soon came and the first success. On the morning of May 27th, Scout Maryland from the 69th Squadron detected 80 miles east of Malta convoy Naples, Tripoli of 6 ships escorted by 3 destroyers and 5 destroyers. At about 13, when the air cover of the convoy was absent, the Italians noticed planes on a countercourse at an altitude of 10-20 meters. These were 5 Blenheims from the 82nd and 139th Squadrons, flying from Malta, attacking the convoy of ships Foscarini, Barbarigo, Vignay. The battle lasted only 3 minutes. 2 planes of the 82nd Squadron were shot down by anti-aircraft gunners, but the steamer Vignay was hit by a bomb, which did not explode, and Foscarini, 6,342 tons, caught fire and lost power. On May 30th, the ship was towed aground off Tripoli, and it was not recovered until the end of the war. The Italians realized the nature of the attack only after they defused the bomb on the Vignay. They noted in their report that this was the first attack on a convoy on the eastern route and in an entirely new way. On the morning of May 30th, 3 Blenheims of 82 Squadron attacked 2 Italian vessels in Sfax Bay, damaging the 3314-ton steamer Florida II with close bursts of 250-pound bombs. The ship anchored in Sfax's outport, where 82 Squadron's Blenheims finished her off the next morning. The steamer was later raised and towed to Italy. Thunderstorm of enemy convoys. Since mid-May, the main forces of the ex-Air Corps of the Luftwaffe departed to the eastern Mediterranean, and air cover of convoys entirely fell to the Italians. Taking command of the Royal Air Force units in Malta on June 1st, Air Vice Marshal Hugh P. Lloyd was given the task to destroy the Axis shipping from Europe to North Africa. Work began immediately on the islands to improve the airfield infrastructure, including underground fuel storage and aircraft shelters. On June 2nd, a Naples-Tripoli convoy of 6 ships guarded by 4 destroyers and a destroyer was sighted. A search for 6 swordfish of 830 Squadron in the early morning of June 3rd west of Lampedusa was unsuccessful. After the convoy was detected south of Pantelleria by the crew of a Sunderland flying boat, 5 Blenheims of 139 Squadron and 82 Squadron were brought up to attack from Malta. At about 2 p.m., they spotted the convoy, waited in the distance until the Italian cover fighters had flown away, and at 2:45 p.m., when the convoy was 20 miles northeast of the Kerkena Islands, attacked it from the sun. The destroyers spotted the attackers only from 4 kilometers away and were too late to open fire. The Beatrice Costa, 61 to 32 tons, was hit in the hold with barrels of gasoline and caught fire. The next morning it was finished by the destroyer Camicia Nera. Steamship Montello, 61 on 17 tons with a cargo of aviation gasoline in barrels and ammunition, received several hits, went up in flames from the blast wave and reached a height of 300 meters of debris, killed Blenheim 139 Squadron. This was the last flight of the squadron from Malta. On June 5th, it returned to Britain. Attacks on convoys continued 82nd Squadron. On the evening of June 11th, south of Pantelleria, 2 Blenheim attacked the convoy Naples, Tripoli of 6 transports, and an auxiliary ship in the guard of a destroyer and 4 destroyers. Both crews targeted the second ship of the left column, Tembian, but were shot down by anti-aircraft fire. On the afternoon of June 22nd, 6 Blenheim attacked the same convoy, which unloaded at Tripoli and was now returning to Naples. The ships began maneuvering. The escort ships opened barrage fire, and an air escort attempted to thwart the attack. However, the topmast gunners hit the Tembian and Wachtfels with 250-pound bombs. Both ships were severely damaged but remained afloat and reached Pantelleria escorted by warships. The attack cost the British 1 dead Blenheim. On the morning of June 25th, the air and naval commanders in Malta received orders from London to stop the enemy convoy at all costs. It was a fast troop convoy of 4 passenger liners, which left Naples for Tripoli on the morning of June 25th, escorted by 4 destroyers and a destroyer. Information about the convoy was obtained from radio intercepts. The British cracked the code the Italian Navy had been using since December 1940. From Malta came 3 submarines. Battle-ready Blenheim at this point did not have, and as bombers decided to use 4 scouts, Maryland 69th Squadron, with the crews of which held accelerated exercises in bombing. The convoy was spotted from the air at 18:25. At 20:30 began raids Maryland's, and at 21:30 approached 7 Swordfish 830th Squadron, but both attacks were not successful. However, the Italians decided not to take any chances, and on the evening of June 26 took refuge in Taranto. In the morning of June 27th, Blenheims failed to bomb the ships in the harbor, and at 17, the convoy in its entirety left Taranto. Despite radio interception and detection by air reconnaissance, June 28th attacks did not follow. Blenheims could not detect the convoy at sea and bombed on alternate targets on the Libyan coast. On the morning of June 29th, the ships arrived safely in Tripoli. At 09 Warn on June 30th, taking advantage of the heavy fog, 6 Blenheims with engines off penetrated into the harbor of Tripoli, and from a height of 40-60 meters, threw small bombs at the ships. Only the large liner Esperia, 11,398 tons, was damaged, receiving 4 25-pounders and 1 lighter to the superstructure. Having quickly managed the fire, the ship departed for Naples that same evening. On July 5th, 4 machines of the 82nd Squadron left for the Middle East, while the rest joined the 110th Squadron, which replaced it on July 2-4. Thank you for watching the video to the end. Forget to put a like and subscribe to the channel. It's important to me. See you soon.